All right, guys, there we have it. I was playing around with a few lines here. You can see these marks over here. I was going to make this piece separately and then make this sail panel blend into there. But today I'm feeling crazy enough to actually make the whole piece from this quarter window all the way to the rear window in one piece. If we can do it, great. If not, well, we'll make adjustments and go from there. As they say, if you don't stretch, you won't grow. All right, guys, well, there's our blank for the sail panel area. I've transposed everything over from the cardboard template we created earlier. And I made one line here to indicate our first bend. I'll wipe everything off after we complete that with the rubber wheel. And then we can begin wheeling all this up to fit up there. It's going to be quite a bit of work, quite a bit of stretching, especially in through this area to create that reverse curve. Let's see how it goes. Just a nice simple bend. It can get very complicated very quickly. Just bring it over, feeling the panel out. All right, guys, well, there's our first bend that we put into the panel. I'm going to get this all wiped off. We can't overwheel the sail panel area too much because we want to create a bulge here. The other thing is we have to be careful because we are coming from a convex plane where the rear window is into a reverse curve down in through here. So majority of the wheeling has to happen down in the bottom area here. And this has to blend up into the roof, so that of course has to bend the other way. It's going to be tricky, but I think we can do it. Let's get this up on the car and see how much we need to push and where we need to push. Wow. We've got about 3 inches up here to come down. And this whole area here, well, we have our work cut out for us, guys. Just going to get some shape into the sail panel now. And I'm staying away, completely staying away from that top area there where that has to roll in and meet up with the roof panel that we just created. Not sure if you can see on the camera, but we are starting to get a convex shape happening here, which is nice. And I'm going to blend it in to the reverse curve we have here. So by doing this, we're sucking this down over here, but we're gaining more material here. So it's going to be a tricky dance to get all the material to go where it needs to be. I'm actually going to do something here where I'm going to take and put the rubber wheel back in, roll this top over. See, this corner needs to start diving in. This will help kind of work it in as we're wheeling the panel. The side here, we don't want to do anything. We want that to be pretty straight. I'm just trying to sneak in here as much as I can without affecting that reverse curve. Just like that. Okay. I want to get this up on the car, on the buck here, I should say, and see how it feels, how it looks in relation to the buck itself. And just a little bit of work we did in terms of wheeling this area through here and using the rubber wheel up in here, trying to get the shape of the panel to fit the appropriate curvatures. We're not doing too bad. I notice here we have a bit of a dish happening actually, which is a good thing because we need to bring that dish out and it's going to help this reverse curve through here. Overall, that's looking pretty good. And we have just enough material around here to roll over the edge. Okay, let's keep going, guys. It's always fun to make one side. Then you have to remember you have the second side, but it's a mirror opposite. And it's usually good practice to make one panel right after the other. If you leave it for too long, you may forget what you did on one side, and well, it doesn't work out too well on the other side. Other times, you might find a faster and easier way of doing something. So you can hear the panel singing. So I just jumped up on the buck there, and I made a few marks, and that's how much excess material we have. So we can take and trim a lot of that away, and the curve will follow the roof a little bit better, because right now this material, which hasn't been worked, it's kind of pushing the material of the roof, the one that we made earlier, up and out of shape. So right now I'll take and shear that off, shear this off through here, and the other thing I have to do is keep working this here, this radius here, keep stretching the material out and around into that reverse curve that goes into the lower window area. As you can see, 95% of this work is being done with a low crown anvil, and there are no wheeling marks in my panels at all. I have a nice smooth panel, which makes finishing a lot easier. I'll get a straight edge and show you guys the reverse curve that we're getting right now. It's quite prominent. So we don't want the reverse curve to come up too high into this area here. We need it to start in this lower area, which is what we're doing. Okay, now I'm going to blend it into the sides here a bit. See, by stretching this outward like this, we've actually pulled material away from here, creating a dish on both sides. So now we're going to bring that back up. You saw me wheeling these areas first earlier. You might have been wondering, why is he doing that if he needs a reverse curve to go this way? Well, that was a reason, because you start pulling material from the sides of the reverse curve, you're going to get two dishes, one on each side, and we can't have that. So right now I'm making that slight correction. Blend that in, and we fix this here. Now that oil can sound you're hearing is me stretching this area. This is a convex shape, but I'm fighting the reverse curve right now, which isn't an issue. I just need to stretch the material a little bit, and the panel didn't like it too much. And there we have our 1/2 inch, guys. I can keep pushing this reverse curve deeper and deeper if I want to, but it's not necessary. Like, this is flowing in really well into this lower panel area here. So like I said, it's not necessary. And we have a bit of material that's up inside there that's creating this, this fight between the two panels here, which is keeping that up. So that'll have to be addressed by trimming it away. But we are really, really close to where we need to be. You can see I'm starting to clamp that together there, and things are settling in quite nicely. So I think we're going to leave this at this point, and I'll get the other side done, and then we can move on to the other panels in this area. Get this corner piece done and that back piece behind the window done. And then I think we're going to be on to the roof panel. That's going to be fun, because we have about a 4-inch crown in the panel. I want to have it come down so that we wrap the roof panel all the way around the rear window area. I don't want a joint here. It just be a lot cleaner to finish if you roll it all the way through and into the window area. I'm going to put a little vice grip up there, grab that, sneak this into where it needs to be, and you can see how well all the lines are gelling together. Just working on the final piece here for the 8-post pillar, and essentially it's the exterior surface of the roof carrying down and in behind the hood line here. So I just want to roll this into place. We don't have much curvature this way, it's pretty straight, but in terms of curvature into the windshield, we have a bit of curvature that way. So we're not too bad. I've wheeled it for a few minutes here, and the little weld holding me up there from sliding in, but once I roll this flange over, we'll get past that weld, and I'll bring you guys in for a closer look. we're getting a nice curvature here. Just working the top in so it blends up with the roof panel there. We don't want any steps or anything. Okay, that's really good. Let's close the panel a little bit. Yeah. We'll fine tune it afterwards, but we are just kind of getting the rough shape installed. Now, in terms of flanges, we have 3 flanges to create on this panel as well. The first flange, the simpler of the flanges, is the one that rolls up and inside the window line on the side of the car. The other one, we have to be dead on accurate because that has to fit the glass precisely. So it basically rolls down 5/8 of an inch and then rolls in 5/8 of an inch. And that's the seat for the glass. And we want about a 3/16 gap all the way around the glass just for a nice consistent finish. So I'm going to go test this piece one more time up there. See how it looks. I think we're where we need to be. And actually, I'm going to take and I'm going to tip this inside flange here. I'm not going to worry about this one just yet. Just get this one in. I have a small weld on the inside of the buck that's kind of interfering. You can see the scratch mark there. So I'll get that tucked over. We'll sneak past the weld and get this panel installed. Slip up inside and see how much better that fits right there. So we are just about there, and that's where we're going to leave this panel for now until we get the other side done. Well, how does that hit you guys? Looks good, eh? Top roof section in place, clamped. The sail panel, we've got that installed, and that's flowing in really well into all these panels through here. I can't even get my fingernail into those areas. It's nice and tight. We'll get all this rolled over afterwards. This door has to come down, and we have to finish it off to the level of this rod here. That's why the window looks a bit small yet. Once the door skin is mounted, we'll get the shoulder line in place, and that'll basically extend a nice line from front to back into the panel we worked on earlier there. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think. Good, bad, are we on the right track? Should we scrap this, start again? I don't know if the customer would like that, but I enjoy reading everybody's comments and try to respond as quickly as I can to your questions. And if you have any questions about how we do something, how we form a panel, ask away, because we might even make a video to address that question. If you see it, you get it a little easier. So anyway, until next Friday, guys, take care.